Another figure was Fichte. He is well known for his socialization of education, which is another important, like, postmodern phenomenon that you need to understand. Leftists would take a lot of Fichte's ideas on education and implement it, and a lot of them, especially if you're listening now, if you're listening now and you're in school, if you're in university, or if you're even in high school or elementary school, I don't think elementary schoolers would be watching this, but if you are, hey, good for you. It is important to understand Fichte because postmodernists will take Fichte's ideas. So Fichte was extremely devoted to Kant, and he got Kant's attention admirably with the critique of all revelation. But what really set Fichte apart was his speech after Napoleon defeated the Prussians in 1806. So his speech was in 1807, most likely. He told the Germans that even though they lost a physical battle, the true battle was in character. And Germany had lost because of enlightenment and values and called for reforms. Essentially, he believed that the fundamental problem was the education system of Germany, and that through the education system we can really gain character, or the Germans at that time can gain that character and win that battle of character that he was talking about within his speech. He believed that the education system needed to promote German philosophers. No, remember that the vast majority of German philosophers were counter Enlightenment, right? He believed that the upper class embraced modernity, which caused Germans to be so weak, and so the German education system needs to be the same throughout, universal, right? That he believed that self-seeking was corrupting and the root of all corrupting, and he attributed that to modernity. And so, in order to remove that, he needed to universalize the education system. And because the education system was universalized, it would create a classless society. He wanted German education to, quote, mold them into a corporate body which shall be stimulated and animated in all its individual members by the same interests, right? And because there'll be one body, it'll be a class of society. All of them would improve in character, but they'll have the same moral, the same characteristics, but like on a moral level, they'll all be up there, in Fichte's opinion. He believed that the greatest mistake that education made was giving students free will, and he believed that students were supposed to be told what to think, not how to think. And in a way, that's what's taking place in a lot of our schools today, which we'll get a bit on, but I'll touch upon a bit upon it now, right? A lot of academia doesn't necessarily push for a classless society. They do teach more collectivist, morally relativistic arguments, but the more relativism kind of is a product of Herder. Students are not learning how to essentially the two biggest the two biggest ways you can see the socialization of education, like Fichte wanted, was a yes, the like students are given leftist talking points after their moral compass is removed out, gouged out by morally relativistic contentions. And then, once the that moral compass is removed, it is the teachers tend to force in leftist dogma, leftist talking points. Also, there are a few stories of teachers today fearing conservative parents and not wanting to share what they teach their children. You can search up some of these articles, right? And in some states, government action can actually be taken if the kid tells the school one thing, tells the if the kid tells the school X, the kid tells the parent X, but the parent just does not accept, and then the student comes back the next day to the school and tells the school, well, I told my parents X and my parents didn't agree. Easiest example of this is in California. Give it a few more years, California is starting to, how would I explain this? So essentially, a student can tell a teacher in California, I feel that I'm trans. They can go home, tell their parents, well, I feel like I am the opposite gender, and a parent would say, no, right? You're a boy or you're a girl. You're not the opposite gender, and the student can go back to school the next day, tell the school, it may be a teacher, it may be a faculty member, whatever, that their parent told them, no, you're not trans. Stop thinking that, and they could take the child away. Fichte also believed that children would be corrupted if they went home because they would again be under the influence of their communities. But you cannot be under the influence of your communities. You have to be under the influence of the education system and the education system only. And remember, the education system is not a private entity, it's a product, or it is a subset of the government. He believed that obedience was an essential feature in the character of a child. Just to add that on to other, his other beliefs. And so Fichte was really important in the socialization of education. And you see postmodernists take a few of those themes today, and you can see them today.